Hello everyone, my name is Scott Cunningham and I'm the founder of an e-commerce agency called Social Lite. I've had my agency for about 10 years. Today we're only working with Shopify stores. So we specifically work with Shopify stores to help them scale their revenue using ads, emails, and different offer strategies. We also have a second business called Merchant Mastery, where we offer training and coaching to early stage Shopify stores. So what do you think is happening in the marketplace right now? What's happening out in the world with advertising for e-commerce businesses? One of the worst things that people are trying to navigate around is all of these updates with the iOS. And there's all these new regulations coming down the pipe. So our company has managed about $10 million in Facebook ad spend in the last year alone. So we know that all these new regulations and all this iOS updates, it's a real thing. There's a lot of new issues that we're facing with reporting and engagement, and we there's a lot of different things that weren't as easy as they used to be. But I want to strip things back down today to the basics, because you know what can't crush your business? All the iOS updates in the world, all of the new regulations in the world cannot crush your business if you have product market fit. What do I mean by that? I mean, if you have a product that you present to the market and they actually want it, you're in a really good spot. So this means you don't need to do more marketing to sell products. You just need to have a really good product that a very specific customer segment loves. And when you present that product to them, it clicks right away and they say, yes, I want that thing. I want to show you a couple tools right now that you can use to make sure that you're resonating with your audience and that they're going to be saying yes to your products more often. So the first thing that I want to talk about is really getting to know your customers' deep pain and passion points, right? If you're going to present a product to them, you need to know what keeps them up at night and how you're going to actually help them solve the problem that they're facing. So I talk to a lot of Shopify stores day to day and a lot of e-commerce businesses, and they usually have a really hard time with this. They'll run ads, but they will struggle and they'll say like, my ads aren't working, things aren't working. And I tell them, let's take a breath, let's step back for a sec. We really need to hone in on what your customer actually cares about. What is the specific problem? How are you going to help them solve it? So the tool that I want to show you is a really useful one that you could brainstorm on after this video, and it's the before and after grid. We're going to talk about how your customer is in a miserable state today. We're going to talk about this aspirational, transformational state that they desire to achieve and how you are the vehicle that gets them from misery to transformation. Okay, and this tool is going to really help you identify the messaging and use it in your marketing campaigns. So I'm going to start by showing you the before and after states. This is the before side, and this is the after side. And it's quite simple. We're just going to use 5 different categories to help you really get clear on what the aspirational state is for your customer. On the before side and the after side, we have the same categories: have, feel, average day, status, and good versus evil. So what we're going to be outlining through this exercise is we want to understand, what did your customer have before discovering your product and using your product? How did that terrible solution make them feel? And how did that feeling contribute to their average day? What was their average day like before they met you? And what is their status? How are people viewing them as a result of them not using the most amazing solution? And the good versus evil. This is like the worst case scenario. What is the evil in the world that is going to happen to your customer if they don't overcome it? And we're going to be comparing both of these before they met you and worked with you and used your product, and after they use you, and how much you transform them thereafter. And I'm going to be using a specific example for you today. So remember, we're talking about coming up with messaging that speaks to your customer's aspirational state. And ultimately, it's about nailing down product market fit. We want to come up with messaging that resonates with a specific audience and speaks to their transformation. So a lot of companies think that they are a commodity. A lot of e-commerce businesses come to me and they say, Scott, I sell glasses. Like, how am I going to differentiate from my competitors? How do I validate product market fit? How do I really get traction with my product? And I say to them, well, you don't just sell glasses or sunglasses to anyone and everyone. You really want to hone in on a specific customer segment that has a specific pain that your specific glasses or sunglasses solve. So the example I'm going to be using is sunglasses, right? If you're selling sunglasses and you're like, hey, I sell sunglasses to everyone, that's the wrong approach, because you haven't identified a specific customer segment with a specific problem that your type of sunglasses are going to solve. So you want to spend time thinking about the exact kind of customer that you're going to transform. And let's pretend for a second here that we're not going to sell sunglasses to anyone and everyone and be super general about it. We're going to sell sunglasses to those who live in the Arctic or traveling to the Arctic or are around a ton of snow. Because when you're around a lot of snow, guess what? The skies are very blue. There's a ton of reflection off of the snow, and it really hurts your eyes, right? So instead of saying, I want to sell sunglasses to everyone, now we're honing in on a specific customer segment. We want to be the champions at selling sunglasses that help people when they're in these really rigorous winter conditions. 4 times the UV rays, lots of sunshine, really cold. Now there's a very specific problem with someone who still needs sunglasses, and we want to solve that. Okay, so the first thing you do is you think about the have. What do they have before they have your awesome winter-focused sunglasses? They might have Ray-Bans and Oakleys. You can't really read my writing here. It's a little bit messy, but the idea here is that they just have the everyday sunglasses that are fashion focused. They're not necessarily focused on the function that the product is going to help you with. How does that make people feel? If you just have a Ray-Ban, like a really fancy, cool, sexy looking sunglasses, and you're going out into the Arctic, how's that going to make you feel? Maybe it's going to make you feel unprepared. And you're not feeling too good. You're going to go into the Arctic with these fancy looking sunglasses, but you don't really feel like you're protected against the elements. What is your average day going to be like? Well, you're going to be actually getting a ton of UV rays, and you're not going to be able to see all the beautiful scenery out in the Arctic. So you're missing out on everything that you traveled there to see. Not seeing scenery. Right? You're not going to be seeing the scenery. You're not going to be comfortable, so you're going to be walking around uncomfortable. You're kind of blinded by the light and you're super cold. So blinded, cold, right? And say you're going on this expedition with a bunch of other people who are super prepared and they knew that they were planning for this Arctic trip, or they're going somewhere where there's a lot of snow. They're going to look at you as like the underprepared beginner. And they're going to say, hey, what's going on with you, underprepared beginner? This is not very good. Underprepared beginner, right? And then the good versus evil. Like, what is going to happen? There's like an evil out in the world. What's going to happen if you actually don't solve this problem? You actually might end up with some kind of eye disease. You might have some like really intense reaction to the UV rays. You may get frostbite. You may be super cold. So it ultimately could lead to a more serious situation, like illness, frostbite, and these kinds of things. So this is kind of the miserable situation that your customer is in. They need sunglasses, they're traveling to the Arctic, but right now they just have your everyday sunglasses. They're feeling unprepared and unsafe as they go into the Arctic terrain. And their average days, they're not seeing the scenery, they're blinded, they're cold when they're out there, and everybody's looking at them like the underprepared beginner. It's not a very good thing. And ultimately, what is that going to lead to? It's not going to be good for you. You're going to have issues with your eyes, you're going to have frostbite, and you're going to be really jeopardized, and this trip is going to be terrible. On the after side, now you have these sunglasses that have super polarized lenses with they're protective against 4 times the UV rays. They have warmth. Maybe they have like little shields around them or something like that. So you're coming up with better ways to protect them from the UV rays and from the cold. What do you have now? You have advanced specific glasses that will protect you from the elements. And how does that make you feel? It's going to make you feel really confident. It's going to make you more excited about your trip. It's going to, it's less to worry about when you're out there in the terrain. Okay? So you're confident, you're excited, you're getting out there with your new sunglasses. What is your average day like? You're going to soak up all that scenery. You're going to get to see absolutely everything and have the best trip of your life. There's going to be more memories as a result. So you're going to have the best time ever. That's your average day. You don't even have to worry about all these harsh elements. And your status now is that you're like the winter explorer. Everybody's saying, I want to be more like this person because they're so prepared, they're so protected, and they're ready for anything. So you're kind of now like the winter superhero, let's say. right? And ultimately what happens? You're not going to get sick anymore. Now you're protected and you're ready for anything in life. So you follow this one thing, you're going to really protect yourself out in the winter. Now you're ready for any kind of terrain. So it's going to trickle down to all of the other habits in your life, and you're going to be the explorer who is unstoppable, who is going to become like a winter icon, okay? Healthy and ready for anything. So this is a really simple exercise. You see how quickly we could put that together? I want you to be able to do that for your business, because what we're going to start doing now, when you start coming up with messaging and copy for your ads, you want to start to learn what is resonating with your audience. When you put up a product page, when you run some ads, when you send out emails, what is resonating with your audience? And if you go through this exercise right here, it gives you a lot of great ideas at your fingertips that you can use in your campaigns. It's a short little exercise that's going to help you come up with a lot of copy that you can test. And with all of the testing that you're doing, some of that messaging is really going to resonate. And when you find the messaging that really resonates, guess what? More customers are going to say yes more often, and you will get closer to validating product market fit. You will learn how to package your products in the right way, present it with the right messaging and the right offer where people are saying, yes, I need those things. Because people don't buy products. They don't buy products and features. They only buy for two reasons. They buy to transform into something that they're not today. So they buy for aspiration. The second reason they buy is to reaffirm their existing identity, but they don't buy products. A lot of companies in e-commerce, they get hung up on only talking about their products and their features and how great they are. We want to send out ads and messaging that says, don't go to the Arctic and miss out on all that amazing scenery because you were an unprepared beginner. Go out to the Arctic and be confident and excited and be prepared to handle anything in life, and you'll be a winter superhero. You don't just want to talk about don't use Ray-Bans, use ones that are prepared for winter. Talk about some of these other aspirational categories, and you want to be trying out these as well down here. So the major takeaway right now is that people need to understand their avatar. Back in the day before these regulations and the iOS updates, you could be okay at marketing and build a massive business. Now with all these iOS updates and regulations, things are getting a lot harder in the advertising world, and even with email as well. Like, we're not going to be able to see as many open rates and click rates, and all that stuff is being hidden from us as well. We got to go back to the basics, understand our customer segment deeply, understand the pains and passions that keep them up at night, and really create messaging that speaks to the customer. If you can do that, and if you can nail that down, all the regulations and all the iOS updates in the world can't crush us. So now I encourage you to go and try out this really simple exercise, before and after state that your product provides to your customer. Good luck. I hope you do well with this.